create content in a way that doesn't cost you too much money up front. This is a game changer, especially for smaller businesses or newer businesses with little to no financial wiggle room when it comes to their marketing budget. Welcome to Digital Content Drill. I'm Catherine Quintana. You can call me Kat. And I own catquintana.com, a home and lifestyle blog through which I sell other brands' products through affiliate marketing. This is done through SEO, search engine optimization. It's a very strategic way of writing blog posts to boost website traffic, get more people interested in the products that I'm featuring on my blog. Now, for you, whether you want to sell your own products or someone else's, SEO is a great addition to your marketing strategy. That's really what we're going to be talking about in this video, not just any type of digital content, blog content. The thing about this approach in your marketing strategy, you don't have to be a good writer. You really don't have to have that much time either. The skill issue and the time issue can both be overcome and met with a strategic, templated way of writing blog posts that live on your website. We're going to get into that. Remember to download the Toolbox, the PDF guide that goes along with this training. That's really where I break things down. Enjoy! Digital content, Andrea Bocelli, dog walking, Miley Cyrus, superfood desserts. You should download the Toolbox so you know what I'm talking about. PDF guide. Are there any other unconventional entrepreneurs like me out there? Please tell me you're there. Here's the thing about being an unconventional entrepreneur. You have to understand this parallel. Personal wellness runs parallel with business success. In both spheres, nurturing yourself first and your team, don't forget about them, is a way to energize and increase your ability to go outward and serve others and provide the products and services for the people who need them. I think we have a cool opportunity to recognize both our personal and professional non-negotiables, the things that we're not willing to invite into our worlds, and the things that are must-haves. When I think about personal wellness, some widely accessible resources that we have available to us are sunlight, water, rest, solitude, support from others, from people who know us well. As much as you can plug into those things as possible, the better equipped you are for your business endeavors. Another important element that I want to highlight is you can increase your momentum in the work you're trying to accomplish by not undervaluing your work and also not overvaluing. So you don't want to get caught in either trap, because here's what happens. When you undervalue your work, you start to block yourself from putting your work out there because you figure, who needs it? It's really not going to make an impact anyway. And when you overvalue your work, you also get kind of frozen because you're like, this needs to be perfect. This needs to meet all the qualifications. And if it doesn't, everyone who sees it is going to be so disappointed. They're definitely thinking about every little part and every little element of what I'm putting out there, when in reality, yes, people love you and care about you. I don't want to pretend like what you do doesn't matter, but remember that people really tend to think about themselves in a critical way, and they're probably not criticizing your work as much as you are criticizing your own. With this parallel, you can really find energy and balance, a sense of ease as you move forward, especially if you are approaching a project and a goal that you've never done before. When we talk about owning a business in the year 2022 and beyond, I can't believe it's almost 2023, crazy. There's one thing we can't ignore, and that's digital marketing. The piece that I'm focusing on is blog content as an element of your overall marketing strategy. Communicating with your audience through their phones and laptops and tablets, who knows, maybe soon holograms. You can't ignore it. It's just a part of our modern world. I want to help you realize a tangible way to do that. All of these little things that I'm going to quickly mention, you can easily research and also learn more about in the Toolbox. Whether you're a new business owner or you've been doing this for a while, you might be hearing me talking about blogging like Isn't that for millennial women who just want to like get something off their chest? There's that part of blogging, but there's also the very strategic and business-oriented side of it that is focused on search engine optimization. When I say search engine optimization, I'm really talking about Google. I could be talking about Yahoo or Bing. Let's face it, Google runs this thing. We are approaching blogging in a way that appeases the Google algorithm by researching what we're writing before we write it. We don't have to come up with things off the top of our head. Instead, we're utilizing keyword research to focus in on the topics we're going to write about. When I say appeasing the Google algorithm, what we're wanting in response to our optimized content is to be indexed or ranked on Google. Instead of our web pages living on page 100, we are moving closer to page 1. Now let's back up a second. It's okay not to live on page 1. It really is. Just because your website doesn't show up in the first page result of someone's Google search doesn't mean you're not doing well, and it doesn't mean that people aren't going to view your website. But the closer we do get to the first 10 pages, the more likely people are to click on your blog posts on your website. If your goal is to practice your writing skills and step into boldness of putting yourself out there, then don't really concern yourself with ranking on Google. But I will say this training, it's really oriented towards a more competitive, growth-minded approach to creating content online. Instead of talking about blogging as a hobby, how do I become a Google-ready business? First, you have to become a website-ready business. The journey from website readiness to Google readiness involves branding. Do you know your brand well? Whether you are a solopreneur or you have a whole team, a whole company, do you know who you are and where you're going? Do you know how you communicate to your audience? Do you know who your ideal audience is within your niche or industry or market? Are your products and services clear, deliverable, and valuable? They must touch on all three of those points in order for blogging to even be worth your time and effort. So when we think about knowing your brand well and being website ready, an important element to check in with yourself about is ownership and framing. And this goes back to kind of the wellness piece that I started out with. When it comes to your learning curve, your wins, your losses, and the way that you contribute to your personal and professional relationships, you must own them and properly frame them or reframe them. Let's use myself for an example. I did not go to school for writing or anything internet or tech related. In college, I was the girl behind a microscope with a white lab coat on. I was not even thinking about blogging as a form of income. Like, how is that even a job? I had no awareness of it. The reality is I am new to the digital content and digital marketing world. As long as I own that, then anything that other people say about it,
drumroll please,
is all good, because I've already been real with myself and with the people that I'm sharing content with about the fact that, yeah, I haven't been in this for 5 or 10 years. I'm new and it's okay.
Go, girl.
If I reframe that limitation as a strength, then all of a sudden I'm getting all these creative ideas. Like, what if I share my journey with people in real time so that other people who are newer in business and newer to owning a website can learn along with me? I'm empowering myself and others, and that's way more valuable than sitting here being like, how do I come across as the most experienced writer ever so that people will buy into what I'm telling them? No, let's reframe this in an energizing way. I like to think of it as upward spiral so that there's more potential created, more potential energy, rather than a downward spiral of, oh no, it's gonna take me forever to make an impact or to get myself out there. Think about how that can apply to your own life and your own situation right now.
As you're just starting your blog from scratch, or maybe you've had a blog on your website for a while and you need to revamp it and move it in a new direction, I highly recommend looking at your competitors. It means that they are occupying a significant space within your market, within your niche. And you can probably pull some tips and tricks just by observing what they have posted on their websites. In my case, I run a home and lifestyle blog, and I also love marketplaces that feature products that are good for the environment. Right now I'm on thelittlemarket.com. This is their homepage. Front and center, I can check out different shopping categories. But if I look at their other navigation menu above, I see a button for a blog. Another place where the blog button might exist on other websites is in the bottom navigation section. So as you can see here, they have it in both places, in the header and the footer. So I'm going to go ahead and click on blog. I'm anticipating learning how the Little Market suggests decorating, outfitting consumers' homes. So if I'm a consumer, not only can I shop from them, as the title says, a picturesque alfresco dining scene. I'm not here to shop for peaches or tomatoes. No, peaches. But I'm most likely here to learn, how do I set up such a gorgeous table setting? And I can continue to scroll and see that there is a variety of blog posts. And there's a little bit of information about the makers that are promoted on this website. Clearly, they are being strategic about what they're writing on their blog. It might come across as just for fun or just for information or education. But at the end of the day, these are very strategic blog posts that still point the consumer to a mindset of shopping.
What happens if your blog content is super strategic and SEO-friendly and you start bringing more traffic to your website and making a good amount of sales? You're like, go me. Yes, I did it. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner. Well, what a lot of businesses fall into is they're making the sales, but they did that by spending huge amounts of money on paid ads on social media and other digital platforms. I'm not going to say that you shouldn't use paid ads. You need to determine what works for your business. What I am really pushing is create content in a way that doesn't cost you too much money up front, so that when you make your amazing desired amount of sales, you're not like, oh wait, but that money isn't really mine. Let's make our websites visible organically. This is a game changer, especially for smaller businesses or newer businesses with little to no financial wiggle room when it comes to their marketing budget.
So let's take a look at some of the search terms I have entered into Google recently. And I want to demonstrate how the first page of Google search results includes organic content as well as sponsored content. Let's click on Best Kitchen Appliances. It's telling me I have about 438 million results. How exciting, how overwhelming. And Google's really smart. It knows that my search intent is to shop, not to learn, probably not to simply educate myself, but to shop. So it's showing me some ads, some advertisements that I can click on that probably make it really easy for me to plug in my credit card information and get a refrigerator delivered to my door within the next 3 to 5 business days, or however long it takes, I don't know. The second result is also an ad. www.consumerreports.org has paid Google to occupy this space front and center on page 1 of Google search. This is paid content as opposed to organic content. They have paid upfront, taking a gamble, banking on the assumption that their content matches the search intent or the intention of a user that types in Best Kitchen Appliances. And they're probably right. I don't know. Let's click on this webpage, Kitchen Appliances by Consumer Reports. You can see they've given us a brief introduction, a summary about what we're going to read. Yeah, I see a really well organized archive of kitchen appliances that would satisfy my search. Let's go back to the page 1 results for best kitchen appliances. This is the first result we're seeing that is not sponsored or that is not a paid ad. And it's by the New York Times. You might have heard of them. They're kind of popular, kind of well known. Now, I would speculate that the reason they show up as the first organic search result and the overall third result on this page, their longevity and their positioning within their niche. They have a massive online visibility because of how long they've been doing this and because of how their content is specifically curated to satisfy their readers' intentions. Along with this, we have people also ask, as long as a website has answered this question, they are going to show up in this section. BobVilla.com. He is not the New York Times, but he curates content within the kitchen niche in such a strategic way that Google loves it. Google's like, heck yeah, let's put him on page 1, get him in front of more readers. Not every website, but most websites that show up on this page 1 are well-known companies, publishing companies, retail brands. They have already established themselves within their niche, so it makes sense that they would show up on page 1. Unless you're one of those people that loves to scroll through 100 movie options on Netflix before actually selecting one, then you're probably not going to do what I'm doing. I'm scrolling through the first 100 search results, which isn't time efficient, and it also isn't likely because I'm assuming as the Google search user that the lower I go in the results page, the less authority each website holds. I'm gonna most likely trust the results that show up higher because I'm thinking there's a reason Google is prioritizing them, so I should also prioritize them. As you are curating your content and you're checking out what your competitors are posting, keep in mind the way that the user conducts searches and the psychology behind the hierarchy of the page 1 results.
When I talk about writing in a context of SEO, I'm talking about writing content that's on brand, Googleable, and reader focused. We're trying to appease the Google algorithm, but we don't want to forget about our people. The hope is that you are website ready. You've already worked on your branding. You know your brand's personality, your tone of voice, the things that your brand would say and would not say, and would do and would not do. Staying on brand with your content means staying within your niche. Also talking about the things that you really would talk about, not just putting content out there because you feel like you have to, because you see other competitors within your niche talking about those things. When we talk about Googleable content, we are paying attention to the way that people use Google search. The other day, I fell when I was walking my dog would never be a Google search. It's not like a Dear Diary. No, people use Google search to find answers to their questions, ideas, instructions. We really need to pay attention to the way we're positioning our content so that it matches the way people type in search terms. And lastly, reader focused. This is really all about foregoing the technical rules, the SEO rules, if it really means connecting authentically with your audience. There's no one who knows what that means better than you. This is why I emphasize branding and being website ready. If you really don't know yourself that well, maybe put a pause on moving forward with your website until you are ready. When it comes time to actually sit down and write your blog post, doing it in a templatized way or with templates can save you minutes and even hours behind your keyboard. So some tools that I love to use to make things faster and more systematized are tables in Notion, Google Spreadsheets, Google Docs, and Canva infographics. So all of these things are kind of like user guides that allow me to quickly remember, oh yeah, this is the way I did things last time. This is the way I want to consistently do them from month to month or week to week. And I don't have to sit there kind of starting from scratch being like, what's my system again? What's the order in which I do things? And what are the particular rules that apply to my writing style? The upfront work of creating templates and instructions for yourself. It saves time for yourself individually, but it becomes extra valuable when it's time to delegate your work to a team member or ghostwriter like me. One of your very first steps when writing your blog posts is going to be keyword research. You can conduct keyword research online through websites like Ahrefs or Moz Pro. Some of the core keyword metrics that you want to look at are monthly search volume, organic click-through rate, and keyword difficulty or competition.
It's completely up to you which keyword research tool you use. I'm going to demonstrate how to use Moz Pro. I'm already logged in, and I'm going to click on Keyword Explorer. And if I'm curious about digital content, I'll type that in here. Make sure I spell it right, make sure I'm clicked on the right country, and make sure it's on keyword as opposed to root domain, subdomain, or exact page. Click Analyze. Once the results load, you'll be able to get an overview of the monthly volume, difficulty, organic click-through rate, and priority, keyword suggestions, SERP analysis, which is search engine results page analysis. If I want to go deeper than just the keyword digital content, I might want to look at the keyword suggestions. In this case, I'm not really interested in keywords that don't have a significant monthly search volume. I'm looking at these filters. Display keyword suggestions that include a mix of sources. But if I want to look at keywords that are only question-oriented, then I click on Our Questions. Group keywords, no. Volume, I'm going to tighten up the range so that the minimum qualification is about 1,000 per month. 851 seems to be the lowest that they let you select before it jumps to 1.7 thousand or 1,700. Click Apply. Now I'm looking at keywords that are related to digital content that are in the form of a question and that have a monthly search volume higher than 851. And right now it's sorted by descending relevancy according to the original term of digital content. And it also shows you the exact monthly volume for each question. You can even go deeper by clicking on the magnifying glass next to each term. As long as you're starting with a keyword that is relevant to your niche, you'll end up with a ton of different options. To switch it up and just go back to include a mix of sources. These are not necessarily searches that are posed as questions. So we have digital content creator, digital content creation. The list goes on, and you can sort the results by ascending or descending relevancy. And each time you do that, you'll see that the monthly volume changes. You can also sort by monthly volume, ascending or descending. I'm seeing digital marketing has the highest monthly volume at 46,752. Keep in mind each keyword research tool will be a little different in terms of their functions and the data they provide you. But on Moz Pro, I can go ahead and click on my preferred keywords. And if I want to continue to analyze them over time, check the box, click Add To. I can add these 3 keywords to a campaign or a keyword list so that next time I go to conduct my keyword research, I'm not forgetting what I've identified the month or quarter prior.
Once you've identified keywords that work for you, you can convert each one into a working title.
I want to show you where I record the keywords that I find in Moz Pro keyword tool. Here I am in my Notion board. I used a template that I found online, and I was able to modify the columns here. I have keyword, volume, difficulty, organic CTR, and then a few other categories that help me realize how I'm going to utilize each keyword and convert them into blog posts. My niche is home and lifestyle. This season, I'm focusing on non-toxic lifestyle and small space living, small kitchen ideas, kitchen wall art, green pan cookware, best kitchen knife, Amazon alternatives, small kitchen appliances. Those are just a few examples of what I could potentially write about and post on my blog. Now, once I've decided that I want to hold on to these keywords because they are going to be valuable to boosting traffic to my website, I can eventually convert each keyword into a blog post title and plug those titles, or at least the working title or an initial idea, into a marketing calendar. This is a very slim, empty version of a marketing calendar. I'm not showing you everything that I have planned, but here I've made some initial notes. The bottom line here is to stay organized and find a system that works for you.
I highly suggest giving yourself a formula. You can set up rules like the keyword must show up within the first 3 words of the blog post title. It must include a number at the beginning of the title, the year at the end of the title, and overall the title cannot be longer than 7 words. I'm kind of just doing that off the top of my head. It might not be precisely what works for your targeted keyword, but it's something that you can kind of set up for yourself to make the process of writing your working titles fast. Also keep in mind that your working titles don't have to be the final titles you use when you publish your blog posts. This next step is one of my favorite ways to templatize my writing process. Choose blog post formats before you go in to actually write them. 2 of the most helpful formats that I find for SEO-friendly blog content: listicles and instructional blog posts. Listicles, or best posts, are quick little lists. They're super scannable, super skimmable, that rank products and services that you promote as the best out of the industry. So whether it's your own products and services or someone else's, this is a way to rank and organize a set of products and services. Secondly, instructional blog posts, or how-to posts, break down a sequence of instructions. They move someone through hands-on steps to complete a project or task.
This is my Notion page for my best post template. Whether you use Notion or some other program or document, just make sure that you have a template that you can refer to before you begin writing.
You want to set yourself up with a standard structure for your introduction. Headings, subheadings, images, hyperlinks, an FAQ section. Have that set up so that you can easily reference, okay, here's what I'm adding next in this blog post. And it's really just eliminating the time when you're like, what do I write about? I don't know what to say next. If you're thinking that outsourcing is going to be helpful to your business, I am here for you. I ghostwrite blog posts. I especially enjoy supporting small businesses who are trying to grow their audience and really establish their position within their industry. So do not hesitate to contact me if you are interested in receiving monthly blog content that really fits your brand, your voice, and where you want to take your audience. So head to katquintana.com/contact. I look forward to hearing from you.